Welcome back to the Mouse Gun Guy. I want to show you one more in the series of Meliors that I've been doing. This is the Mercury Model 622 in 22 long rifle. And you can see here it says Mercury, made in Belgium. It doesn't say Melior anywhere on the gun. The M here is in the grip and it says Liège. These are not the original grips. These are replacement grips, reproduction grips. The grips that were on the pistol when I got it were just smooth and they didn't fit properly. This is the mag release here, and that's unusual on a European-made pistol, but I think this was made especially for Americans. It's a little bit hard to push because this rod goes all the way through, so you have to have a recess in this grip to push this in all the way. But you have a 7-round steel magazine, all steel firearm. Very well made, as you would expect from Melior. Very nice looking gun, I think. But this was made after World War II. I know earlier we had the 1930. Before that, the 1920 or the 1914 new model. You can see how the gun is changing over time. You have this takedown here. We slide out the sight, and that releases the slide. Well, that has been changed here. And one thing I want to point out here too, you see how this is the back of the firing pin spring, and there's a little pin that goes in there and it's split, so this post can go in there and hold that spring. And when you pull this one off, that spring is under no tension because it's in a separate block. You just pull the slide off and then pull the block off. Well, this one is very different. That's the same thing, it's under tension, but here you have to pull the slide way back to disassemble. You take out the barrel bushing here, and that releases the recoil spring. Then you slide the slide way back and then lift it up. Well, as you slide it back, you're putting tension on the spring, and when you lift the slide up, what do you think happens? Yeah, you launch it. I hate to tell you how I know that, but that's the easy part. The hard part is putting this back in, because you can't put the slide back all the way and drop it down, because this post here will just stick right into the spring. So you've got to depress that spring all the way inside the slide as you try to push it back onto the frame. And it takes 3 hands. Yeah, I had to get my girlfriend to help me with that. And so she held the spring down in there with the screwdriver while I put it together. And so this is not one that I am going to disassemble for you. Sorry about that, but that's the way it is. Just not going to work. Let me see if it has a... Okay, there's no mag safety, no grip safety. But other than this difficult reassembly, it's a very well-made gun, and I'm sure it would be a nice gun to shoot. I think it's a very handsome gun. It's got model 622 here, calibers 22, long rifle, 151 311, and the 151 311 is on the frame and the slide. So that is the Melior Mercury, made in Belgium after World War II, about 1945, and this was imported by Tradewinds Incorporated in Tacoma, Washington, and sold here in the United States. Now, the Robar Company went into receivership in 1958 and was dissolved. So I'm assuming that's when production stopped on the Mercury and was no longer imported after 1958. Some say, oh, well, the 1968 Gun Control Act prevented the importation, but I think it was had stopped being made 10 years before that. There may have been a few imported, the leftover stock, after 1958. But don't know for sure. In any case, it's a very nice firearm. You don't see a lot of these around. This one, the bluing is really good. There's others I've seen that were made in nickel finishes, but I've never seen one. I've just read that. And I'll put a link below to a story of a guy who got one and had some fun trying to get it to shoot properly. Anyway, I'll put the link there and you can read it for what it's worth. So thank you for looking at the Melior Mercury in .22 long rifle.